what's the easiest way for like an eBay or an Amazon seller to really know if they're making a profit or not? What do you look at in your business, Anna, to really understand that bottom line? Because there's so many sellers, right, in Facebook groups and on YouTube. And, I've done it before where, I make a video, I made, X amount, or I made this much this month, but that's just gross. Talk about how do you actually get down to that bottom line profit, and how do you analyze that?
Well, there are two really important measurements. The first measurement is sales minus the cost of inventory. That's just your gross margin, your gross profit. As a start, that needs to be a positive number. You need to have made more money selling something than what it cost you to get it. And that's crucial. After that are all the discretionary or the operating costs, courses, conferences, all of those things that you could maybe do something about, that you could adjust, maybe spend more, spend less on. So the first thing you need to know is your gross margin or your gross profit, sales minus cost of inventory. And then after that is the bottom line, the net income. And that bottom line is what you pay taxes on. That bottom line is also really kind of the heart and soul of your business. And that certainly needs to be a positive number as well. So you can kind of look at it as one, our costs that you can't do anything about. There's really a limit to what you can do about what you can sell something for and what you paid for something. But then there's a second set of variables, which are these operating costs that you have a little bit more control over.
Do you find that when you dig into some e-commerce sellers, back ends and their accounts and everything, do you ever find that some sellers believe initially that they're turning a profit, and when you actually dig into it, they're not turning a profit? Is that something that's normal?
Actually, it's common. And it's really a tough conversation to have with someone. I've actually had a grown man cry on the phone. He's, had so much on the line. He was making over high six figures in sales. He was like, oh, I have this thriving business. He'd been honestly boasting around groups and Facebook. And he asked me to take a look at some things because he thought, well, my sales are growing, but I can't pay myself. And I'm starting to struggle with credit card bills. So it's almost like, to keep using this analogy, as a human, you might have signs that you're sick, like your throat kind of hurts and maybe you feel feverish, but you're not really sure. So we took a look and dug in, and what happened was he was increasing sales because he was buying more inventory, but he was putting the inventory on credit card, and then the sales revenue from the inventory was not high enough. So he was going in a bad direction. It was really bad.
So what's the next step for somebody when, they feel like they have a thriving business, they feel like they're making money, they're able to pay their bills, but maybe it seems like they're running in the same space. How do you get yourself, how do you start to transition over? What's the next step? Is it creating a system to record your records in your business and put an accounting and bookkeeping system in line? Like, how did maybe, you can give a situation of how you transition into that next phase?
Well, I think that's a really great question because you and I were talking about this before. No one starts on day one with the perfect accounting system, the perfect inventory system.
I didn't.
I encourage everyone to be patient with the process, and remember, done is better than perfect. So what you need to do is say, what do I have now? Where am I? And how can I improve? If you have a shoebox full of receipts, okay, start there. Start where you are and make an improvement. Maybe the next step from that is having a spreadsheet where you're tracking revenue and expense. That's not a double entry perfect accounting system, but that's a lot more informative than the shoebox of receipts. From that, then you can evolve to a double entry accounting system where you have a balance sheet and an income statement and QuickBooks or Xero or some of the other options. So start where you are and figure out what you can improve on. That's kind of like the secret to life, I think. You can't magically build Rome in a day, but you can start with the foundation.